Welcome to Mrs. KG's very first video. We'll try this out. It won't be the best quality. My handwriting will look like a 3-year-old's, but let's go. Hopefully you'll learn. Ignore the stuff down here. Here is a quadratic relation. I know it's quadratic because it has a squared there. And if I were to multiply it out, I'd have an x squared, an x, and a number. What I want to do is focus on how to graph this. So how to graph it using the vertex and 2 other points that you can find. So what you've learned about this type of equation is that it's in vertex form, so it shows the vertex easily. You might remember that you take the opposite of this number, so the vertex is 4, and the same as the last number, 4, 5. Okay? Another way to think of it is to think of transformations. So the vertex form shows us the transformations very easily. The half means that it's wider. The minus 4 means it shifts right 4, and the plus 5 means it goes up 5. So if you imagine the shifting is the only thing that changes your vertex from y equals x squared, and the vertex is at 0, 0, if you shift right 4 and up 5, you're right here. So there's my vertex of this parabola, and I know that it opens up because there's no negative in front, and I know it's wider. So, you know, a rough sketch might look like, maybe I'll make it really thin, something like this. Okay. We've been focusing only on rough sketches, but I want to focus now on how to get a more accurate graph. Okay. So we're going to find another point. Now this gives you a formula for any x value on this parabola. So if I want the x value of 100, I can plug in 100 for x and do all the calculations, and it would spit out y for me. It would tell me how high up the parabola is when you're across at 100. Okay, but I don't want to just randomly pick a number. I want to pick one that's going to be on my grid, and that's going to help me figure out the shape of this thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I know it's fat, I'm going to pick maybe 2 or 3 away from 4. Maybe for now I'll just do 2. Okay, so 2 points away from 4 is at 2. And so my x value I'm choosing to be 2. And now what I'm going to do is find out y. So I plug my 2 into my equation. Okay, I'm going to grab another color here and make it bigger. Okay, so what does it look like? I'm going to plug 2 in for x. Okay, so instead of x I plug in 2. Write 2. And because of bed mass, you have to do b, brackets, first. So I'm going to simplify the brackets. 2 minus 4, if you remember your integers, is -2. Okay. Now I have to do the exponent. So I have to do the -2 squared. Do not do a half times -2. You have to do the squared part first. So I do that and I get 4. Now you have to do multiplication before addition because that comes first in bed mass. I don't do it first just because it comes first in the equation. I do it first because multiplication comes before addition in bed mass. Right? The m comes before the a. I do half times 4, and if you're confused about how to do that, you can just change a half to 0.5 and times it by 4, or you can do 1 divided by 2 times 4 in your calculator and you'll get 2. Add 5 and you'll get 7. Now you could also plug this carefully into your calculator and do it all at once, and hopefully, because you know what the shape should look like, you know whether it's off or not. But be very careful about that. But this is how to follow it through with bed mass and show your work. Sometimes I might require that of you. So my equation spat out 7 when I plugged in 2. That means the point when x is 2 is up at 7. So I have the point 27. So let's draw this. 2, 7. Oh, that was a pretty good guess over there. So that is one of the points. And now you might recall that quadratics have an axis of symmetry. Basically, you could fold the quadratic along this line, and it should be the same on both sides, kind of like a mirror image across this line. Okay, that's the axis of symmetry, and if we wanted the equation, it would be x is 4, but I'm not so interested in that. Just know that parabolas are symmetrical. My sketch is not. So I should be able to find another point using this point. It should be 2 away on the other side of the vertex at the same height. So I should have a point right here. Okay, so if I accurately draw this quadratic, I should have something like this. Okay. There we go. Thus ends our sketch of the quadratic. Thank you very much. Bye. Crying child. Bye.